Mantras of our Divine Mother, date 14th December. Our Divine Mother says, all barriers must be thrown down one after the other for the being to put on the integral amplitude of all the possibilities of manifestation. With my blessing, says our Divine Mother. Words of our Divine Mother from the Collective Works of our Divine Mother, Volume 14, Topic Concentration. Our Divine Mother says, the moment that stores up and concentrates is no less needed than the moment that spreads and diffuses. Concentration does not aim for any effect, but is simple and persistent. Concentration on a precise goal is helpful to development. The more we concentrate on the goal, the more it blossoms forth and becomes precise. The yogi knows by his capacity for a containing or a dynamic identity with things and persons and forces. Knowledge can only come by conscious identity, for that is the only true knowledge, existence aware of itself, says Sri Aurobindo. For this, our Divine Mother says, there is always some kind of unconscious identification with the surroundings, people and things. But by will and practice, one can learn to concentrate on somebody or something and to get consciously identified with this person or this thing, and through this identification, you know the nature of the person or the thing. Nothing is impossible for one who is attentive. Our Divine Mother says, it is said that the faculty of concentrated attention is at the source of all successful activity. Indeed, the capacity and value of a man can be measured by his capacity of concentrated attention. In order to obtain this concentration, it is generally recommended to reduce one's activities, to make a choice and confine oneself to this choice alone, so as not to disperse one's energy and attention. For the normal man, this method is good, sometimes even indispensable, but one can imagine something better. At times I try to silence the mind, says a devotee to the Divine Mother, Sweet Mother. At times I try to silence the mind, at times to surrender, and at times to find my psychic being. Thus I cannot fix my attention to a single thing. Which one should I try first? For this, our Divine Mother says, all should be done, and each one when it comes spontaneously. Next topic, meditation. Our Divine Mother says, when you sit in meditation, you must be as candid and simple as a child, not interfering by your external mind, expecting nothing, insisting on nothing. Once this condition is there, all the rest depends upon the aspiration deep within you. And if you call upon divinity, then too you will have the answer. Our Divine Mother says each meditation ought to be a new revelation, for in each meditation something new happens. Even if you are not apparently successful in your meditation, it is better to persist and to be more obstinate than the opposition of your lower nature. Sweet Mother, I would like to know from you if it is good for me to devote more time to meditation than I am doing at present, says a sadhak. I spend about 2 hours morning and evening together. I am as yet not quite successful in meditation. My physical mind disturbs me a lot. I pray to you that it may become quiet and my psychic being may come out. It is so painful to find the mind working like a mad machine and the heart sleeping like a stone. Sweet Mother, let me feel your presence within my heart always. For this, our Divine Mother smiles at the sadhak and says, the increase of time given to meditation is not very useful unless the urge for meditation comes spontaneously from within your heart, from inside, and not from any arbitrary decision of the mind. My health, love, and blessings are always with you. To keep constantly a concentrated and ingathered attitude is more important than having fixed hours of meditation. Question: Sweet Mother, when you give us a subject for meditation, what should we do about it? Keep thinking of it? For this, our Divine Mother says, keep your thought focused upon it in a concentrated way. And when no subject is given, is it enough, Sweet Mother, to concentrate on your presence in the heart center? Should we avoid a formulated prayer? For this, our Divine Mother says, yes, concentration on the presence is enough. Examples of subjects for meditation. Our Divine Mother says, new birth, birth to a new consciousness, the psychic consciousness. How to awaken in the body the aspiration for the divine? By turning one's gaze inward, looking within oneself, the ill effects of uncontrolled speech. Next subtopic, certitude. Our Divine Mother says we must march on with the quiet certitude that what has to be done will be done. Certitude, assured and calm. It never argues. Certitude of victory. It is not noisy, but it is sure. Next subtopic, the divine grace. Our Divine Mother says the Supreme has sent His grace into the world to save it. It is the divine grace that must be paid for. It is the divine grace that must be prayed for. If justice were to manifest, very few would be those who would stand in front of it. Justice is the strict logical determinism of the movements of the universal nature. Illnesses are this determinism applied to the material body. The medical mind, basing itself upon this ineluctable justice, strives to bring about conditions that should lead logically to good health. The moral consciousness acts in the same way in the social body and tapasya in the spiritual domain. The divine grace is our Divine Mother. The divine grace alone has the power to intervene and change the course of universal justice. The great work of the Avatar is to manifest the divine grace upon earth. To be a disciple of the Avatar is to become an instrument of the divine grace. The Mother is the great dispensatrix through identity of the divine grace with a perfect knowledge through identity of the absolute mechanism of universal justice. And through her mediation, each moment of sincere and confident aspiration towards the divine calls down in response the intervention of the grace. Our Divine Mother says, who can stand before thee, Lord, and say in all sincerity, I have never made a mistake? How many times in a day we commit faults against thy work, and always thy grace comes to efface them. Without the intervention of thy grace, who would not oftentimes have come under the merciless blade of the law of universal justice? Each one here represents an impossibility to be solved, but as for thy divine grace, all is possible. Thy work will be, in the detail as in the whole, the accomplishment of all these impossibilities transformed into divine realization. Divine grace, thy goodness is infinite. We bow before thee in gratitude. Sweet Mother, can we conclude that the divine grace works best when it is established in the earth consciousness? Is it the aim of our endeavor to establish it permanently? For this, our Divine Mother says, yes, the divine grace cannot be explained through words and mental formulas. It is only the divine grace that can give peace, happiness, power, light, knowledge, beatitude, and love in their essence and in their truth. Who is worthy or unworthy in front of the divine grace? All are children of the one and the same mother. Her love is equally spread over all of them, but to each one she gives according to his nature and receptivity. Say, I have received this grace, I must be worthy of it, and then all will be well. Let us give ourselves without reserve to the divine, so best shall we receive the divine grace. The grace is equal for all, but each one receives it according to his sincerity. It does not depend on outward circumstances, but on a sincere aspiration and openness. Right use of the granted grace, no deformation, no diminution, no exaggeration, a clear sincerity. Our Divine Mother says, call of the divine grace is not noisy, but persistent and very perceptible to those who know how to listen. These are the words of our Divine Mother.